Your daughter shared her chicken pox with me 14 years ago. Claire couldn't help smiling. Sasha always had that effect on her, even in the worst of times. They had been best friends since meeting on the train in 1992, 20 years ago. Then they had been young brides filled with hope and excitement and dreams of happily ever after. Soon, there were 4 of them who met every weekday on the 8:27 Westport to Grand Central Express train. Julia and Paulina got on the train in Fairfield and saved the 4-seater in the 3rd carriage back. Claire and Sasha got on in Westport with coffee and croissants. On that train to Manhattan, the 4 of them had shared their lives, the triumphs as well as the struggles to balance the careers they loved with family life. More recently, they admitted their mixed feelings now that the children they practically raised together had left for college. Most discussed their marital troubles. Not Claire. Her husband, Mark, had long held important positions in the U.S. government. Currently, he was special advisor to the president on Middle Eastern affairs. Even a whiff of scandal would wreck everything he had spent his life working towards. At least, that's what he was always telling Claire. So she kept her problems to herself, except where Sasha was concerned. You just couldn't lie to Sasha. The other women, too, sensed something was amiss in the seemingly perfect marriage of Claire and Mark Saunders. They said nothing out of love for their friend, but they worried. May I remind you, Sasha, that the dinosaurs are extinct? Go to lunch. Tell Julia and Polly I'll be there next Saturday, without fail. She tried to keep her voice light. Same time, same place. Claire finished the call quickly. She drifted into the long gallery that ran the length of the house and put a match to one of the fires that Mr. Atkins, the caretaker, kept laid in each of the home's 5 fireplaces. It was a large room. The house had been designed by a famous architect, and all the rooms were airy and spacious and flooded with light. Claire had decorated the graceful space so that there were cozy corners for 1 or 2, as well as ample space for the grand receptions that were part of Mark's job. She curled up next to the crackling fire and studied the vases of roses that seemed to occupy every surface in the large room. So many roses. Too many roses. As always, yellow and pink. The doorbell began to ring over and over, pulling her out of her dark thoughts. More roses, she thought, heading for the hall. She was limping a bit now from the fall she had taken last night. She pulled the door open, but instead of the delivery man from Petals, there stood Sasha. Sasha was as petite and blonde as Claire was tall and exotic. She was one of the few female producers working on television commercials. In that world, many men had mistaken her Barbie doll prettiness for softness, or worse, lack of intelligence. Few made that mistake twice. "Chicken soup from Gold's Deli," Sasha announced, waving a shopping bag as she marched inside. "Better than Lemsip." Claire stood frozen in the doorway. "Where are we with Downton?" Sasha's words trailed off as she entered the gallery and saw the flowers, vase after vase after vase. Claire still hadn't moved. "Dear God," the words came out in a whisper. "So many." Sasha turned back to her friend, fearing what she would see, but knowing.
to keep listening to this audiobook. I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.